Hey, Travels with Dottie here, and it is February 13th, 2023, and it is one day before Valentine's Day. Speaking of which, I have a 1-minute video, actually a couple of versions of that 1-minute video on my channel, where I talk about my feelings about Valentine's Day. So if that's something that interests you, check that out on my channel. Also today, I just released a video on RV retirement on Social Security, and if that's of any interest to you, you can find that on my channel. It's a little bit longer. It's 3 or 4 minutes long. Today, Dottie and I are headed into town to pick up mail, and we're doing it right now because as I sat and thought through the rest of the week, this may be my last opportunity to get mail this week, and I know I have some mundane Amazon deliveries sitting there waiting for me to pick them up. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, the most exciting thing I'm picking up is some eyeglass cleaning solution. So that's how exciting that is. But why can't I get it any other day this week? Because I am jam-packed with things to do this week. I've got some working I need to do tomorrow during most of the day, so it's going to be hard to get out. And then Wednesday, I go for hopefully my final trip for dental work in El Algodones, Mexico. I have 4 cavities left. I did 3 last time. 3 did take 2 hours. It was rather strenuous. I'm hoping to get through the last 4, and I may ask for a bonus teeth whitening since it's inexpensive down there. I'm going to stop by the pharmacy and pick up a few long-term necessity things, and then I'll head back, and that'll take care of Wednesday. And then Thursday, I am headed out for my camp. I'm moving my rig for the first time since I got here in mid-November. I'm going to go to Deborah Dickinson's Patreon camp out, which will be Thursday through Sunday. And then I believe if things work out the way I think they're going to work out, my buddies and I are going to be camping down in Imperial Dam LTVA. That's covered under my LTVA permit. It's down near Yuma, and it's a different style place, and I'm looking forward to a little bit of change of scenery, but I'll be away from Quartzsite for a while doing that. And you will know all about it, because when I get down there and on the way down there, during my adventures there and leaving there, it'll all be on YouTube videos. I got some advice recently on, if you want to grow your channel, you really need to do it with shorts. So do a lot of shorts. And so I've been doing, I think I did 4 shorts yesterday. And, the person giving the advice asked the obvious question, well, what do you do shorts about? Or you run out of topics? And the answer was, do shorts about anything. It's the shorts feed, you're going to hit thousands of people doing that, and no matter what you're doing, there's going to be people that are going to be interested in what you're doing. So just do little snippets of your life, and that's exactly what I did yesterday. And even a short I did on George the cat reacting to a monkeys, the old hey, we're the monkeys from the 60s. George reacting to the monkeys documentary, and that got like 400 or 500 views. So who'd have thunk? So you're going to be seeing a lot more videos from Travels with Dottie, but I'm going to be certainly I want to do at least one regular length video like this one every day. And today, I guess I'm going to do 2. And the reason I'm doing 2 is I try to do one every time I get in the car and drive, because for some reason, people like to watch me drive and listen to me talk. I have no idea why. They just do. So this is what I'm giving you today, and I've been doing it for almost 5 minutes. part, my observations of how much less traffic there is in Quartzsite after the Big Ten is probably getting a little long in the tooth. I'm still amazed, though, that there's parking spaces at Silly Al's, but it is not any longer a full parking lot. So if you're still in town and you want to enjoy Silly Al's, this is the time. You can get in and get served fairly quickly. But it's a Silly Al's is a good barometer for how busy things are in town. When things are busy, you can't find a parking space there. And when things are really clearing out, there's a lot of parking spaces. And I would say today there are a lot of parking spaces. Looking into a few of the RV parks that I'm sure you can't see too well on camera, but they're got a lot of open spaces in the RV parks as well. It's a very beautiful, cloudy, blustery, partly sunny, partly cloudy day, and it's a little on the cool side. It's in the 50s, but you don't hear me complaining. On my Facebook feed, there was a memory, and the memory was a little clip of me in Virginia from my security camera, walking out of my rig, putting my foot down on the metal steps, which were covered with ice, and me falling on my ass. And the picture is me sort of trying to lift myself up from the ground, and Dottie there kind of trying to help me. She was pretty concerned that Dad had wiped out. But I do not miss ice and snow. And I would say I hope never to see it again, but that circumstances will conspire, and I will be in a winter somewhere at some time in my life going forward. But for the most part, I'm all about avoiding it. BCM Mail is down here kind of on a residential street. Boy, I've been pulling for them this season. They made a lot of mistakes, God bless them. And I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt every time that I possibly could. But boy, sometimes they make it hard. They really do. I was here the other day, and they're closed every day from 12 to 1, and it was 1 o'clock, and it was after 1, and there was a sign on the gate where it closed, and there was a bunch of us. Right now it's 1:18, and it looks like there might be a little line there, but a bunch of us were standing outside wondering why they hadn't reopened, and we're thinking, well, maybe they forgot. And the bottom line was everyone in line was scared to go in to ask them for fear of getting yelled at by the owners. That's not a good look for a business. So I got my package, and I was in line with people, a couple of guys that were really anxious to get their packages and excited. And this one guy in front of me, when she found his package, he was so happy and excited. I asked him, what is it? He says, well, it's the rest of my kit to make my motorcycle street legal. He was like a kid in a candy shop. And then they handed me my package, and it was eyeglass cleaning fluid. I can see better, but it was kind of hard to be very excited. So, and they were kind of laughing at me in the back. And said, "Come on, give it a little smile. You're gonna have clean glasses." So I gave them a smile, and they were happy. Boy, they were having a hard time in there. And the young man that has been there all season is evidently gone. And we have a bunch of other people trying to figure things out, and there were for hire signs displayed, and I can hear them talking about, yeah, we gotta find somebody that can handle this, the back room, meaning where they sort the packages. It's just been, I don't think there's enough room, and they're disorganized. And there was a fella in there in the office talking to them. He's a very nice man, but he was trying to tell them in a very polite way how disappointed he was with the service. And I got handed to the owners were there, that the male part of the ownership team, who gets most of the criticism online, was the one receiving the criticism, and he actually was being very polite to the guy and very sympathetic, and wasn't denying the accusations the guy was making. It was a very civil discussion. But I'm afraid if they can't find someone that's going to have the energy and organization skills to run the logistics and the customer service of that business, I don't think they're going to be doing it for too much longer. It's hard to imagine, especially with Ironwood up here. They're not doing any advertising, but word of mouth is anyone that asks about mail service now. I'm hearing online people are cursing BCM and suggesting Ironwood. So we'll just see how that goes. I'm tempted to go to Ironwood, but certainly I'm going to stick with BCM through the end of the season. I get these feelings of loyalty when I engage with a business like this, and I like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I hope I'm not being foolish doing that. But my instincts, my intuition, I got a video on that. You want to know about intuition? I have, go to my channel and check, and there's a video on intuition. I would say I have quite a variety of videos. I have these talk and drive videos. I have retirement videos. I have things on my RV living and RV gadgets and things of that nature. And also, because I'm a licensed therapist, I have a whole section on mental health information, mental health tips. And I like telling stories. So I've got videos where I tell stories about some of it, my time in the business world. And I was also a firefighter, a paramedic. I tell some stories from those years. I'll probably do a few more of those. They're moments, snippets of my life that been fairly interesting, make for pretty good stories. My dad was he was a great storyteller. I remember when he died, I think one of my brothers or sisters wrote the obituary in the paper, and in it they referred to him as a raconteur. And I was in my early 40s, well-educated man, and I didn't know what that word meant. I had to look it up, embarrassingly, and it means like a gifted storyteller. And that definitely was my father. He loved to tell stories. And as I understand more now that I'm a senior citizen, as people get older, they tend to tell their favorite stories over and over again, thinking that maybe they haven't told the story before. But of course, my dad would tell these same stories over and over again. One of his favorites was prior to me being born, and I have 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters. And our mother had taken everyone out to the store she got home, she noticed someone had snuck in some gum. And it was never clear to me whether it was stolen or was just pushed in secretly with everything and it got paid for and not noticed. I don't know, but some child had pulled a fast one to get their gum, and she confronted everybody. Whose gum is this? Who took the gum? And no one would fess up. And the littlest one was my sister Margaret, and Frank. We mostly called him Frank. He was older, several years. Margaret, I guess, is probably 2 years old at the time. A few minutes after the confrontation, Margaret says, "Frankie, can I have a piece of your gum?" So he was busted, innocently busted by my sister Margaret. But my dad loved to tell that story. I probably heard that story 50 times in my life, maybe more, who knows. And his all-time favorite story about me was, you can tell I've got some meat on the bones here, and that's always been true from childhood through today. I was a roly-poly young child, and we had a housekeeper that I didn't have a mother. That's another video of you. Reparenting is the name of the video. You can understand the very personal story of my mother. Anyway, we had a housekeeper, took care of me, and she got very concerned one day and took me to the doctor. And her concern was I wouldn't eat. And she goes to the doctor, I think his name was Dr. Bynum, and says, "I'm so concerned. Robert hasn't eaten all day." The doctor's answer to it was, "He could go a month without eating." My dad thought that was the funniest thing in the world. The tagline, "He could go a month without eating." He would invariably repeat that tagline 4 or 5 times at the close of that story. But that was another one of his favorites. But anyway, I've got a variety of things like that, other videos. And if you really dig back into my past, before I was an RVer or even a YouTuber, I had a video business, and I used to do things like little commercials for local businesses and memorial services and weddings and all kinds of things. And I even did a couple of sort of documentary style things for a couple of nonprofits, and those are still out there if you're interested in that kind of thing. Anyway, those go way back. I think I started my channel in 2008 or 2009. It was early on, and but I didn't use it the way I'm using it now. But all the old videos are still there. Also, there's a ton of musicians, amateur musicians. I used to go to an open mic at a coffee shop in the little town I was living in, and I would get free coffee and I think donuts or muffins or something for recording the artists at open mic and putting that out on the internet. So there's a lot of that. Even poetry nights. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's Talk and Drive, because we are back home, and as I go into the desert here, this phone is going to start bopping around all over the place. So I'm gonna end the video right here.